We're gamers, we like games, we play games because we're gamers. We got no lives, we've got jobs, this is our hub. Hello everybody, it's Swep up here, and we are going to do another how-to. Yes, that old Bones is coming back, and we're going back to the how-to strategy guides for Overwatch. Now, I'm going to be going back over a couple characters I've already covered as well, but we're going to start with D.Va. Why? Well, first off, she's at the front of the list. Second, this is a character that a fellow Monarch, Superlute, did a Is D.Va Real video. You should definitely check that out at the end of this video. So, we're going to go over her kit and a couple little strategy guides, as well as you can see a little bit of action I'll show here and there just to give you an idea. So, first off, pick D.Va.
I play to win!
Yes, you do. So, first off, a couple things to know about her kit. She has these super loud shotgun things that never run out of ammunition. Because... fuck you, that's why. They're pretty good. They don't really have much headshot accuracy, but she's got that. Now, another good trick, she can fly, and you can cancel at any time. You can use it to engage. It takes about 5 seconds to do that, and then you can fly away again. Now, she has decent range. She can engage from a distance, but as you see, her accuracy is better at up close. She also has the defense matrix, where she can eat up projectiles. Now, she cannot eat up anything that is, she cannot eat up anything that is not a projectile. So, when it comes to things like lasers, like Zarya's beam, Moira's the suck, melee attacks, obviously she can't eat up, so anything from Vegeta or Hanzo, not Hanzo, any melee attack. She can't eat the mist either. So she is essentially good at taking on most projectiles. She can actually swallow a lot of ults as well. Her defense matrix can eat just about any ult that requires something being thrown or shot. So high noon she can eat. She can eat most of soldiers, at least half of soldiers' visor shots. She can eat a fair amount of Roadhog's whole hog. She can eat the entirety of the cute little snowball guy from I can't know your lore, fat bub. But she can eat Freeze Don't Move, the Blizzard. She can eat Hanzo's dragons. She can eat Zarya's Grav. She can eat a lot of things. She can absorb a lot of damage too that comes out. So let's say that you have a Junkrat tire that explodes. If she tracks it and doesn't destroy it, which you should be trying to, she can absorb most, if not all, the damage from it if she gets, catches it right. So essentially most of the damage she can eat up right in there. It does have a certain amount of time, and the longer you use it, the longer it takes to come back. You can see it's not perfect. It does have that meter, and if you can see it there, kind of growing up. That meter, it does take time to recharge. Can I get shot by you?
Shoot you down.
You're friendly. But you can see it works in a few different ways. You don't have to necessarily be looking directly at the people you're shooting at. You could be on the flank. It works a lot of different ways. A couple little tricks when it comes to the defense matrix. It's a really good thing. But we got that. We got this. As you can see, from a distance, it's not that good, but you fly in. That's where you get the really juicy critical shots. A good trick to do is to fly directly in the face of the enemy. So you would, like that. and then you would be shooting at them while you do it. It's a great way to ensure that you get them. Of course, it's another good trick. You can use your boost to bump people off the edge. Your boost is a great way to move people around. Like any good tank, you can use your abilities to control the area you're fighting in, essentially using it to control where people go, where the enemy is stationed, everything like that. You can see, out of distance this isn't very good. But if you're out of distance and you're engaging and you want to do some good damage, hold down your micro missiles. They do a lot more. And they'll help take down a character. As you can see though, you're not going to do much. You'll fire and kind of, you know, pester people. But if you're not doing the close range, you're not going to do much. Now, of course, too, the same way, the closer you get, the more damage micro missiles does.
I still love you.
To a certain point. Now, a couple of the things you have with D.Va is the fact that she has a big fucking hitbox. I mean, obviously not that big. But we step in front. It takes a while to lose damage. Let's see if there's less damage fall off here. Take some time here to lose it. Essentially show you how to gain back your mech. Because another thing is she has one of the few awesome abilities to be able to have essentially a second life. So she has armor, and then once her armor is gone, it's just regular health. So it's by a little bit quicker. Almost done. Shoot me. See if she can get me before I die. Ooh. Yeah, no, I'm gonna let him win or else I'll die. And then obviously, boom, you pop out.
Ejecting.
And when you're ejected, you can engage. And you can... It is an automatic weapon. And once you get your thing back...
Suiting up.
You have a second ultimate, essentially, to come back into your mech. Now, of course, the biggest thing is the D.Va nuke. Here's the best way to use it.
Nerf this.
Get into an area where you think you'll get a lot of damage. As you can see, there's a lot of things you will have. Now, obviously, most of the time, as long as you don't lose your mech, you can use it as a way to gain your mech back. Or a way to save your mech from being lost. You use her to really bully people around. She's a bully tank. A good way to do this too, and it's going to take a while, is to of course take damage and then do this trick. I'll show you real quick. I want to see if this can I still get shot? Oh, it can protect me at that range too. Can I do this? No, you see, you have to be facing... Oh, that didn't work. Hold on.
Time to raise my APM.
You see, I was able to absorb some of it. She also does have her boots.
Double kill.
Well, there is a way to do it if I do it right. To be able to do your mech and not completely die, I think. The way to save your mech. So you're getting low, you're like, ah, I'm getting low. Boom. As soon as you see that happen, if you have it, you can use it as an escape. Now, I would say that's a bad idea unless you want to Batman it into the other team. So that's what I think. As you can see, she's not very effective from even not a far distance. But she does have her way of bullying. Now you can eat shit. You can launch micro missiles in and do a lot of damage there. Really help bully people. And if you need to, really kind of finish people off. Now, she's also a decent dive. The only thing is a lot of people don't use her well as a dive hero. A lot of times people will dive in on her, dive in and engage, but that 5 seconds is a long time to do it by yourself, especially against a really good DPS, and if they have a healer. A lot of times people will dive, get into an engagement, and not be able to really finish, because even at close range, if you're missing, you're not really doing much. You use your micro missiles, but they hurt you at close range, you know, a bit too. And that 25 damage may not seem like much, but it could make a difference.
Healed up.
Of course, there's a few other tricks a lot of people like to use. One trick is this.
Nerf this.
Super launch, D.Va ult. Which didn't do anything.
Suiting up. Game on.
But those are the basics of her kit.
I still love you.
Essentially, you just bully as you can.
Double kill.
And there's a lot of ways to use her ult. A lot of people will just dive in and sit. But there's a lot you can do. She is a really good hero. I think she's the best off tank. Not a good solo tank, really, because she doesn't really do a whole lot when it comes to damage protection. Her defense matrix is very limited. She is a good ult counter for a lot of offensive ults. She is also has a great area of effect ult that is used for one other purpose. Aside from getting massive damage, you can also use her ult to clear a point. So you see this little thing floating around here? Well, let's say that that's the point. So we're going to follow it around. You hop on the point.
Nerf this.
Now everyone's off the point.
Mecha activated.
Everyone has to be, or else they'll die.
I'm back in the fight.
It's a way of really clearing the area. Her ult is good at that. Most, if not all, tank ults are good at area denial in some way. Whether it be pushing people away, halting people in an area, knocking them down, and stunning them for a time to be able to be wiped out, or an ult like that just clears the area or drives people away. So there's a lot of utility to D.Va. And again, she can be used in unison with a lot of other heroes. She's a great hunter of snipers and flankers, I think. Especially if you have like either like a good DPS with you, like a Reaper or a Tracer or a not Hanzo, a Genji or a Junkrat or a Doomfist, someone who can really put a lot of hurt on flankers or even flank themselves, like a McCree. But usually people who can really get up to high ground and maneuver with you. She's great to have a partner like that. Another really good person to have with you is a Mercy. Some sort of a kind of a pocket healer whenever you want to engage, excuse me, engage a backline. Or take care of flankers. She's really good at that. She's a really good all-around hero. She is CapnBowser's favorite, I would say. Yeah, easily. And she's one of my favorite tanks to play. She's the third hero. She's probably the player I play the third most. Obviously, I'm a Rissam and Reinhardt main. I play those two the most. Big into shield tanks. But in the end, I am definitely down to play Korea's biggest gaming star. Like I said, you can use her to boot, it does damage. She's able to really bully and really kind of get into a fight and make a lot of changes, especially if you have your team with you. She is a bit hard to take down to a certain point, but she has a big fucking hitbox. And if she isn't dematting, you shouldn't be missing her. So that's some of the strategies with D.Va as a whole, but one moment, let's go over her play on a certain level.
Welcome to Oasis.
Alright, so we're on Oasis,
I play to win.
and we are playing. So, a map like this, there's a few different areas, obviously. But D.Va has a lot of advantages. First off, she's really mobile, able to get out in front,
I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
take care of a lot of issues, absorb
Rally
any
power to forward
Moira
shield.
balls, things like that. And that's when you're playing D.Va, you need to be thinking, what am I using my D-map for? What is my plan for defending this team? What do they end up having? Checking the thing, obviously, seeing who's on their team and what you can counter. Oh, okay, they have a soldier, they have a Junkrat, you know, maybe they've got a Moira with the Moira balls you can keep track of. Maybe they have a Rhine, so you can keep an eye out for that Fire Strike, keep that Rhine from getting ult charge, and keep that Rhine from really causing you damage at a distance. Especially if you have a Rhine too, so you can give your Rhine a bit of an edge in that. Oh, I didn't realize. I think that's the star of David. Well, hello. L'chaim. Anyway, so little things like that you want to keep an eye out. Obviously, after you get to about 60 seconds into the game, you want to start keeping an eye out for ultimates. You want to keep an eye, again, on what characters they have. Oh, they've got a McCree, they've got a Pharah. You know, keeping an eye out on when they're going to do that. Now, one thing I feel a lot of people do, and this could just be because I'm at a bit of a lower rank, a lot of people expect D.Va to do all the diving and take care of all the problems. But the thing is, they don't understand really good position and engagement. Now, in here, if you have any like snipers or anything, it's really easy to take care of because it's so close quarter. There's so much coverage. You can really sneak around and come up and surprise, you know, the sniper. Oh, the sniper's right here. Oh, they're getting away. Oh no. Oh, they're getting away. Ah, chase him, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. D-mat, shoot him, micro missile, you know, all that shit. You can do what you need to in a close quarter, but in a big one, especially a either a 2CP or really a escort mission, it's really difficult on those long stretches to do the sort of pestering and bullying that D.Va needs to. I mean, you can kind of sneak around, but one, if people know there's a D.Va in the fight and they don't see D.Va, they're looking for D.Va. That's what a smart damage who either flanks or is a sniper is going to be looking out for. Oh, I'm watching out for D.Va. She's probably going to sneak up on me. And while that does put a good kind of mind game, you know, edge on it, it still doesn't really stop the fact that now you're still taking yourself out of the fight. Because while she might be doing that, thinking about, okay, keep an eye out for D.Va, keep an eye out for D.Va, she might still pick one of your healers, take out one of your really important key players that you need, and now, you know, when you engage, you might get that sniper, but is that really a good trade? You took out their sniper, but now you lost your healer. With your healer down, you have a 4v5 fight going on, and you're just not going to win. It's a lot easier when you're a D.Va at a distance, when they have a sniper or something like that, to really just kind of keep an eye out on when you see the sniper, engage them from a distance, pester them, kind of make them change their fire, hold up your D-map for a few seconds to maybe absorb what they're shooting at you. Same goes for Pharah. Well, when Pharah gets really close, you can definitely kind of mosquito swat her by flying up at her and just unloading into her face. You still got to be careful. A lot of Pharahs that are smart won't play past their tanks. If they play past their tanks, they're dumb and deserve to die. They deserve to be picked off by your hit scanner D.Va, or both. But if you have a Pharah that's playing intelligent, playing where essentially like they have this invisible line. So let's say this Reinhardt shield's right here, and they don't fly past this big invisible tall line. They stay, you know, at a distance, a bit, so when they fall, they're right behind Reinhardt's shield if they need to come to the ground and kind of help with anything, or come to the ground for healing if they don't have a Mercy or anyone who could really keep an eye on them. If they have to get close, you know, if they have a Lucio, that's their main healer, they fall down, whoop, get some healing, fly back up. And if they're really smart, they'll do that, and they'll know that, okay, best thing to do is to stay back. And if you're going to be a dumb diva, you're going to engage them without any help, and you'll end up behind that line, and now you're just going to be feeding the shit out of yourself to them, and you've essentially taken it down to where you're now a baby diva or dead. They've gotten all the ult charge they could want off of you, and you've really not been any help to your team. Because even all the damage you pumped into that Pharah, if that Pharah didn't die and they land and end up getting healed, then, well, now you've just put ult charge into their Lucio or their you know, Ana or whoever they have, their Moira, and you really kind of just wasted time. It's just little things like that a lot of people don't really pay attention to, and then a lot of demands. A big thing I think as a tank, and something that really pisses me off as a tank healer, in general, but as a dive tank, you know, you have certain things you have to do. Winston needs to dive in, and Winston's jump, I think, charges faster than D.Va's boost. I'm not entirely sure. It might be about the same. But the difference is Winston has a bubble he can drop and really kind of play around in. D.Va's just got a frontal, you know, thing where she can really only engage in one direction. And if you try to jump in and you end up surrounded, you really have nothing you can do. Because you're just this big fucking bubble. As you can see, you're this big fucking thing that's just going to get its ass reamed. So you're not going to do a whole lot. Again, though, one other thing that I think a lot of people don't understand, and it's really hard to get because with your ultimate, it's really difficult. Obviously, when you have an ult, try to make sure Ryan's shield's broken. Everyone has something they need to look out for with an ult. Typically, it's a tank, either a shield or D.Va's DMAT are the main two things you're looking for when it comes to your ultimate, unless you are a healer. Then your ultimate really... your ultimate economy is a bit different. But if you're a damage ultimate or a tank, or if you're DPS or tank, your ultimate typically is going to be looking out for either the shield tank or the DMAT. And you want to make sure that you take it down. I do believe that DMAT can take some of D.Va's ultimate, but I don't think it really stops it from affecting other people. But again, knowing how to use it, a couple tricks to look out for if you're really having trouble getting that D.Va ult engaged in doing some meaningful things. If you're facing a shield tank, there's a few things you can do. One, if you have a Reinhardt on your team, talk to him or her. Tell them, hey, I've got my D.Va ult, I've got my nuke. I would like to nuke their team, but they have a Reinhardt. Can you charge that motherfucker? And when they charge him, then you just launch, because here's one of the two things that's going to happen. They're either going to charge, causing that other Rein to countercharge, and then they'll have about 2 seconds of being knocked out and having to get back up. Or that Reinhardt's going to be dumb, not charge back, and then you're going to have your Rein taking their Reinhardt back into their team, and with you using your ult to follow him, anyone who tries to punish your Reinhardt's going to get their ass taken out by your D.Va ult. You're going to protect your Rein to a certain point, and you're going to take out a shit ton of the team. When dealing with an Orisa, and this works with Winston as well, the moment they put down their shield, launch it. Launch it. Because now you are forcing their team to have to move in an uncomfortable way. That Orisa or that Winston, which Winston shouldn't drop their shield except for defending against ults that it's good for, or kind of bubbling out a certain threat. But an Orisa will place their shield in a position they want, to have it in. They want to have that shield there. And while some Orisas will place shields in a way that they can really maneuver around and a D.Va ult won't affect them too much, you still have, as long as you get it on the other side, that's really going to fuck with them. And they're either going to have to disengage and get behind cover, Well, they're going to have to cross that bubble and engage you directly. So essentially, you've made them have to pick between a rock and a hard place. And that's really what you want to do. So there's a few little things. Oh, I might show some clips of me playing, maybe a few different things I've done, or a few examples of how I've done things. A lot of these tricks I've learned too, especially like the Diva ult behind the shield, is something I've had happen to me a lot as an Orisa. I kind of picked up on it, like, that's when they wait for it. And it really is a good mind game to play. That's one thing too. Ryan's like to play mind games with each other. Orisa likes to play a mind game with Ryan. Diva can play a mind game with Orisa and really make her think about when she's going to use her shield to protect her team. And of course, that's when you just need to make call-outs and let people know, hey, I'm going to do this. Obviously, you want to call out your ult as much as you can. Sometimes there are opportunities that just present itself where you can't just be like, ulting! But, you know, do what you can. Anyway, I hope this is educational. Diva's pretty good in a lot of different teams. She, I think, is a really good complement to a shield tank. Kind of like Zarya is really good with Ryan, but I would always prefer a Diva to a certain point. I feel like Ryan and Zarya both kind of function in a similar way. While Zarya is great at getting just feeding off Ryan, I feel like Diva's just a bit better of an off tank. It could just be biased because I think Diva's a bit more aggressive, and I like a more aggressive approach. And a lot of people don't play Zarya as aggressively as I'd like, but it could just be where the rank I'm in. But Diva's great. Diva's great at pushing in. She's great at leading a charge. She's really great to go behind too if your Ryan's charging, to have Diva charge behind there, so that way she can push people around too and really get in the fight and be a good co-tank with any of your leads. Obviously, you don't want to rely on her as a main blocker, but she can do a lot of blocking. When you play Diva, you want to be keeping an eye out on your abilities. She's one of those players that has multiple abilities, kind of like Doomfist, and not keeping track of them and not keeping good tabs on them and what you're using them for and what you're using them to counter is a really good way to get your ass killed really quickly. So make sure to keep an eye on that. Obviously, I don't have this perfect. I'm just a gold, but I do know what I'm doing to a certain point, and I have actually kicked some ass as Diva. So, and watch out for Reaper. You're just this big fucking thing that Reaper will just fucking destroy. Look at that big old thing. Yeah, it's got that tiny Korean in there, but she'll wreck you. One other good thing, use high ground as Diva. Diva is great at high ground. I know she doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but if you can create, and this is just a rule of thumb in just basic combat, if you can create 2 points of fire, overlapping fields of fire, you actually do a better job at pinning the team in one area. I hate seeing this, where people just all line up in one area and engage from one front. You essentially create a machine gun nest, and that works to an extent, but people can then flank. And if you create a machine gun nest, you're going to become tunnel vision. You're not going to see what the rest of the team is doing. You're not going to have a good vantage point. If you have someone up here, I can see maybe if other people are coming around the back, or, you know, maybe see if anyone's over here. I can engage them. I can check, if someone's coming around the back. I can still stay the high ground and still defend it. Little things like that, Diva's great at. Because then, too, if she gets into a high ground position and you're engaging, and you're engaging, and you're engaging, and you're engaging, broke the Rhine shield. Boom! And guess what? Now you just killed their team. So little things like that I think are really good. Those are just some good tactics that you use at a player that can get up to a good position. I think Hanzo's good at doing that, and both the snipers that can move vertically. Reaper can't really do much at a distance. Junkrat can do good like that too, I think. Junkrat can really wreak havoc and defend from different areas, kind of come out here. Obviously Pharah. So it's a good tactic just to use in general. And it's a good thing to look out for as a Diva, because as a Diva, if you see that going on, you can fly up there, take care of the problem, protect yourself, DM out a little more, and get the fuck away. And never be afraid to disengage. So that's my little tutorial on playing Diva. Some how-tos. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. If you learned anything, please let me know. If if you have any suggestions, any other things that you notice that people need to do. I think a lot of things that people don't do as D.Va is this. They'll just let things go by that they need to do, like orbs. And you can do it offensively too. You can absorb healing orbs if you need to really kind of take away that, and that's time that now Moira has to wait to use another orb. And if she's out of pink, out of her pink mist, out of her yellow P mist, then you've really made a different, a big advantage. And that extra 2 to 3 seconds might be the difference between you taking the point and not. For you just wiping them out for healing and taking away some ult charge and all sorts of different things. And you got to think about all of that, and you could turn that into second nature. But I'm rambling on. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to give that like button a good game, just like that, Make sure to leave some applause in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe. Check out Steven's Superlute's Is D.Va Real video that kind of inspired me to come back into these kind of things. And definitely have a good fucking day. Bye-bye. Reach it. No! Do that. Oh, couldn't save him.